Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the latest session of on product benchmarking from the Digital Fifth. And let us wait for a couple of more minutes before everyone joins in. Good afternoon, guys. Welcoming you all once again. Thank you for joining us to another interesting session from the Digital Fifth. Today, we'll be speaking on the power of product benchmarking for enhancing digital experiences. So, before we deep dive into the topic, I would take this opportunity to introduce myself. I am Deepak Sai. I've been a part of the Digital Fifth family for over 3.5 years. Been working on a lot of launching a lot of digital products. We've been working on a lot of digital transformation, be it banks, NBFCs, fintech, and we see the lot of digital. Which is not only just being a buzzword or known as a buzzword for the last 10 odd years, but we see that it is reflecting on into the ecosystem, on converting into successful products. That's the reason we thought it would be very interesting to bring out and discuss on this power of product benchmarking for enhancing digital experiences as one of our key things, and we see that it is one of the need of the hours. And moving into, a lot of you all have been associated with us and have been encouraging us by joining the webinars frequently. But to just help our new audience understand who we are Digital Fifth. We are Asia's first fintech and digital finance only consulting advisory firm. So we would like to take this opportunity to thank ASSOCHAM for recognizing us as one of the winners of Market Intelligence Facilitators for the year of 2024 in the MSME Excellence Awards. And we thank ASSOCHAM for helping us honoring for us for this award. And moving into our suite of services, we are into we provide digital strategic advisory services, open banking advisory services, fintech and startup advisory services, technology due diligence, security and compliance services is something that we are foraying into this year. And digital research and content management is something that we do a lot. We've been releasing a lot of reports lately, and in case you haven't checked our Chiratai report, please do visit our website and please do check the report. And we would like to take this opportunity to thank our customers who've been actively supporting us in the ecosystem. And moving to our network. I mean, as of today in LinkedIn, as we see combined, we have around 80,000 followership, and somewhere across our newsletters, something that we do very regularly, and around 25,000 we have 25,000 subscribers to it, and somewhere across 3,000 very specifically curated WhatsApp ecosystem is what we have, which covers around 80% of the BFSI and fintech space. So moving to our last out on the side of services, which is the training, and we do a lot of training services. Whatever we do or we practice on the digital consulting side is what we teach. So we've trained over 5,000 participants, and we've combined, put together close to 2,000 training hours. And we've also launched several digital self-practice training sessions. And if you are interested, please do visit our website again to check out the digital payments and the digital lending products that we've specially curated for you. Moving to the topic for the day, before we jump on to how the power of benchmarking is going to improve your digital customer experiences, we would like to put some light on the evolution of digital products in the BFSI. I mean, most of us till date, in the last 10 odd years have experienced the products which are financial in nature, where we don't have to visit a particular bank or a particular organization to consume those services, right? Most of us, going back to the journey, it could be a slightly nostalgic, where only we used to go to ATM to withdraw money and then pay, which was considered a digital service from today, where we scan and pay. So that's the kind of sophistication which is improving with the, be it smartphone penetration, or be it the customer utilization or the adoption that is improved. So with that, most of the organizations are focusing on launching every product and service only on the digital mode, or are exploring a way where they can actually do an omni-channel service, right? So with that considered, moving to a fresh financial year as we start, most of the organizations are focusing on how can they increase the customer value of their digital product, how can they improve the product quality or reduce the drop-off. So as of today, it's not just one organization who's providing a particular product or service, right? The market is very competitive. Take any particular product, there are at least 4 to 5 competitors who might have an edge on the other, providing a particular same particular product or service, right? So that's where improving or reducing the drop-offs is very important for a particular organization, where they improve the efficiency of the business. So taking that into consideration, that is where we feel digital product management is moving towards being a specialized vertical in an organization, as compared to just being a facilitator of a particular product. And speaking of the financial ecosystem, when we speak of digital products, why are we speaking it in the digital finance ecosystem is something that we touched upon, wherein we see the evolution of the financial products is not restricted to a particular set of services that you're consuming. It all started with your bank accounts being digitized. It all started with your payments being digitized, from moving to a scan and pay system to a phone number based system to a different mode, right? So we've also moved from the collect flow on the UPI side. These days, it is directly embedded on your customer screen, so which you don't have to switch across the applications to make a payment. So that's how the ecosystem is evolving. And in the current ecosystem, we see that the financial sector is the fastest digitizing and innovating sector, wherein digital transformation is not just perceived as an initiative. It is considered as a part of their strategy for the year. And there are specific teams who are working closely to achieve the digital goals. And in these particular transformation, all the banks have also chosen the phased evolution of the digital product. So that's where your bank account started, your payment started. Now the personal loans and the credit card journeys are something which are specifically evolved in the last 2 or 3 odd years. And we see that most of the financial ecosystem is going to focus on improving the mutual funds journey, or your home loan journey per se, or your loan against securities journey, which have been far more physical and not so digitally evolved, are going to be the focus of the innovation in the next few odd years, is what we believe. And these particular services that we spoke just about are something that have been perceived as omni-channel specifically, and not just as a digital service, right? So that's where it'll be interesting to see how we can completely digitize the experience of the customer without reducing the quality of the service. So that's something we can only achieve through continuous commitment for enhancing the services, including the products and service. So that is going to be the key. And moving, as we speak of the digital product, when we see of a focus area, it is like many of us, when we look at it as a specific product, most of us are with the perceived knowledge that it should be the core product which is first digitized, and then we should look at the ancillary services and then further, right? So as of today, if at all we observe the ecosystem, almost all of these components have been fitted into your product. So when we speak of the innovation, and when we speak of achieving digital success in your particular product, it's a timely journey that you have to take. And based on that, what we believe is your digital product benchmarking will be the key, wherein you throughout the life cycle of your product, you understand what are the products and features that are working for your customers. How do you actually improve these particular products and services? What are the new features that you bring in? Are your ancillary services really supporting to your core services, or do you actually see that these, I mean, you need to add other specific new services, or maybe just the product features to your particular product, right? So all of these directly impact the business is what we believe, and that's where benchmarking will be the key to improve your product innovation and ensure we achieve the digital success. So moving, while we understand why the benchmarking is important and how it is going to contribute to an organization, let's quickly deep dive into the product benchmarking and its significance. Before we introduce the main topic, I would ask Sakshi, my colleague, to please share the feedback form. Your feedback will really help us continuously improve our particular service, and we definitely hope to get your feedback. And whoever is going to share your feedback, we'll receive our recording as well as the deck soon. Sakshi, if you can please share that. Yeah. So introducing our digital product benchmarking, how is it going to be the key? I mean, as of today, most of the organizations, when they perceive the digital products or regular products, per let's say, have been utilizing the benchmarking as a particular tool, strategic tool. But in terms of the digital space, when it comes to the digital space, because of the large competition that is available, and there is explicit amount of secondary data and primary data always available to the customer. So with the huge availability of the data comes, what are the data points that are key for you? What are the parameters that are key for you that can actually help entirety of your organization to improve your digital strategy and check how you fare amongst the competition, right? So, I mean, when we see of a digital product benchmarking, it's a simple tool where you compare the entire digital strategy or in parts to your competitor in the BFSI or maybe any other space. So, I mean, to further simplify, it is like a comprehensive health checkup that you do for your digital product, right? So it's as simple as that. And in terms of your product evolution, when you start systematically benchmarking your particular digital products, we also try not only to looking at your products or features or how is your customer reacting towards your particular product. We also try and establish digital industry standards that are there across your particular products, be it regulatory, be it ISO, or be it any other standard that can actually help you improve your particular product. Right? So that's where product benchmarking is like a comprehensive exercise. It is not just your competition that you check across. You also try and identify the gaps in which you have to further innovate or improve your particular product or service. So that's where most of the organizations, when we speak of the product benchmarking, they come to us saying, "Oh, we are at a very mature stage of our particular product. Do we still see the product benchmarking and the of my digital product or service be further relevant? Or I mean, we are at a startup stage of launching a particular product. So how do we do the benchmarking?" These are the regular questions that we come across when we meet a lot of particular clients. So, but one thing that we are very certain is because of the rapid evolution of your digital products that are happening, your benchmarking activity has become very periodic in nature. So maybe particular organizations are better off doing it several times in a year to understand how the market is evolving, how do they particularly improve their particular product. So at every particular point when before they take up the benchmarking activity, they need to understand what is the reason or the goal or in which circumstances they are trying to undertake this benchmarking activity. So that is going to be the key for a particular organization. So, I mean, taking an example, let's say you're at a mature stage of an organization and you're trying to improve your particular product, right? So based on this benchmarking activity, you might want to expand your reach to different products or different regions. So you would like to understand, is your particular product relevant in your new geography that you're trying to penetrate into? Are there new competitors who are operating in that space who have further improved the particular product or maybe has given a localized touch to that particular product? which as of the day of the launch, you might not be having it. So those are the kind of things that you can check. And based on this, what it'll help you is, again, looking at your target audience and a fresh insight. Every day is a new day for a digital business, and you need to focus on how you can actually meet the changing customer expectations with the geography, or changing customer expectations with new competitor or new service that is coming into the picture, or in terms of your utilization of your emerging technology, right? So as of today, people know that what AI can do, with especially when people start using ChatGPT for their everyday use. I mean, if we go back and say in FAQs, we are not offering certain segments, or we are unable to translate into a certain language, they see that you can just simply copy paste everything into ChatGPT and you can have it ready in a couple of days. Why are you not supporting it? I mean, it has come down to that particular point, right? So I mean, as of today, when we speak of FAQs to be one particular aspect of a particular digital product, it is not as simple as launching any other particular feature or trying to further localize your particular service. So that's where product evolution will not, product evolution will only be improved based on the results of your product benchmarking activity, which can further fuel the growth and expansion plans of your particular organization. And moving towards the significance of product benchmarking activity, when we see why it needs to be taken up, why this particular product benchmarking activity is going to be the key when we start launching several services, is to streamline several products or processes that we are launching as of an organization, or to ensure we are having the status quo with our beliefs, what we are trying to do in an organization, how in terms of the goals and the strategic requirements that we are trying to put into. And from there on, analyzing how are these new processes or procedures going to efficiently contribute towards the growth of the particular organization, or how is it going to improve the customer experience as of today, and how is it going to improve the profits or reduce the cost at the back end, is something that is a further analysis that needs to be done. And also streamlining the internal operations will be the key. So that's where, I mean, as of the physical world, or the when we say digital world, where the products and services are kind of dependent on the next person's activity. So that's something like you put in a personal loan application where the onboarding has happened digitally, and you've collected the data from your customer, but you are saying you will still go through the same process in the backend, where your ops team takes a couple of days to review this particular application and come back with a response if you would like to give this particular customer a loan or not. As of today, almost like there are 40 or 100 odd companies who are offering the digital personal loan. And if at all, let's say, based on the timeline, most of the customers that we have spoken to about hardly wait for an hour or so in terms of your digital disbursement of your particular loan. If at all you don't get a response from your bank or your digital organization in less than an hour, they try to move check on your competitors. And basically, not just on this particular side, the customers also understand the fact that with several of the organizations offering this particular service or the particular product, which could be your personal loan, they understand. They go back and quickly also check on the specialized features that are available, or the offers that are available, be it your processing fees, be it your percentage, or that your percentage of loan that is being given across, or what is the level of repayment options that are available, what are the foreclosure charges that are available. So with most of the products being digitized, and most of the banks, NBFCs or fintechs having almost everything well documented and available digitally, the customer has the feasibility to check multiple places, start that particular journey in 10 different places before they particularly pick up a loan. In that particular situation, when the customer is on your platform, converting that particular customer is going to be the key. Else, based on the timeline, if at all we have not streamlined the internal operations in the backend, it could further delay the process, right? So that's where we could lose the customer. And talking about this, how do we further improve the particular quality of the service to ensure the 100% satisfaction of the customer is maintained, or the organization, is going to be the key. So based on your benchmarking activity, we not only get the feedback of the customer, we also try and understand what is the timeline it is taking for the customer to move from step one to step two. How do you analyze this particular delay? Is there any data point that can be further streamlined or automated in the backend where it is going to ease out the journey for the customer? So those are those kind of thought process being brought into the benchmarking activity are going to be the key. And I mean, at the end of the day, we pick up a few parameters. We find the competitors, we benchmark it across. We bring out the numbers, right? And or we bring out the findings. Based on the findings, adapting what actually is going to empower your business to take it to the next level, or how it is going to improve your particular product is going to be the ultimate goal of every particular organization, right? So the results are there for organizations to be perceived and for the product managers to actually act upon them. So how quickly can we act upon is not always going to be a strategic decision. It is also going to be a tactical decision based on the availability of the tech teams, or if you can quickly go live with that particular product or feature, if at all you partner with someone in the ecosystem. So let's say if at all you want to partner with a particular technology organization, but you came across a particular feature which does not exist in the ecosystem. So how do you perceive this particular knowledge, and how do you improve your particular product is going to be the key, where the technology team could be coming out of the domain, whereas the person who's in the domain might not understand technology. So to improve the digital product, along with the benchmarking, having the core knowledge about the product and the domain are going to be the key, and the technology are going to be the key. And moving through, through benchmarking, what are the organizations trying to achieve, right? So that's something that we would like to, help shed some light and help the audience today. So that is, through benchmarking, we would be able to take data-based decisions rather than seeing, this particular feature as of today in a focus group of product managers who are sitting across and maybe 3 or 4 people brainstorming it. I like this feature. Do you like this feature? Are not going to be the questions that they pose to each other. They look at the benchmarking services. They understand what the customers are doing, what the competitors are trying to do, and based on that, how is it going to be feasible if at all we imbibe this particular feature into our particular product, or something that can be analyzed through the benchmarking results, where the data is readily available for the organization to actually take a decision upon. And it also helps understand the user-centric focus that is there in the ecosystem. So there could be 100 different ways, 100 different organizations could be running their particular products. And with all these products, there could be a generalized experience and a specialized experience that they could be offering. So choosing specifically the competitors that we would like to go, that we would like to compete against, and choosing how they are trying to do, and also trying to understand what kind of challenges or my customer is facing when utilizing my platform. Putting these insights together, we would like to we can actually bring a user-centric focus, where we would be able to improve the digital products from the customer's perspective, and not just from the customer's perspective, but also with considerable intelligence coming from the market as well as the competitors. And with that, with new specialized features coming in, and database analysis and user-centric focus, there is definitely going to be an improvement or in the user journey that we would be able to suggest. This has the further feasibility to actually enhance the customer loyalty and improve the customer satisfaction of utilizing on that particular platform. So this could not just be always with the enhancement of the user journey. It could also be a thought process where you see that there are several ancillary services that your customer would like to utilize by utilizing your core service. So how do you actually add that particular product or service as a feature into your core product? How do you utilize it further? It could be as simple as let's say you have a credit score monitor as a product that you're providing your customer. Now, not just bringing out the score and showing it to the customer, but also giving a specific gamified feature where they can also see, by taking specific steps, how would they be able to improve their particular credit score? How will the audience, how will you be able to further, based on the loans that you're taking, through the credit score simulator, how do you actually shift your particular loan from one to the other, and offering specific insights like how do you use your long-term credit card without discarding it to improve your credit score. These are going to be features, right? If at all you see, it's beyond the customer journey, what you're trying to provide, but these kind of tips and tricks actually help enhance user satisfaction and loyalty on the platform. So those are the kind of things that we can actually improve in terms of your product. And I mean, going beyond the user satisfaction, it could also help us broaden the strategic goals of the organization and set new level of objectives. So I mean, it could be choosing. I mean, if at all you're a fintech who is launching a personal loan, and if at all you're also or you're running a personal loan, and you would like to launch another feature, could be your loan against securities, or maybe a credit card feature. So how do you align these things, these products together in the future of the organization? How do you strategically plan them? How do you strategically utilize the features that you've already built for your personal loan to also enhance the GTM for your credit card product, or maybe your loan against securities product? So those kind of strategic thought process can also be aligned, and you can also look at who are my competitors who are doing this particular features or products combined, and you can actually have an enhanced customer or the market positioning of your particular organization that you can plan for. And beyond this, you would also be able to look at market changes that are happening, and I mean, how are these market changes shaping out across your competitors? How are they perceiving it? How do you perceive this particular market change? It could be as simple as a regulatory change coming in from your regulator, which is from tomorrow, data privacy is going to be the key, and whatever data that you're collecting has to be consented at every move. And it could be as simple as, if at all the customer would like to revoke that particular consent, it should be readily available on the screen. So those kind of product features, it could be as simple as being provided on the screen in terms of the settings, where the customer can revoke it, or maybe just providing it directly. I mean, the word explicitly, whenever is mentioned by your regulator, how do you perceive it and show it on your screen is going to be the key. So we not only as an organization perceive it in a different direction and utilize it, but through benchmarking, we would also be able to see how are different organizations trying to perceive it, and how would you be able to imbibe that feature in a specific way, which not only ensures you have 100% compliance, but also have it as a enhanced feature that is available for the customer. And moving to the proprietary framework that the Digital Fifth has created, we call it the Pulse framework. And we've utilized this framework across benchmarking across multiple products. We've utilized it for benchmarking mobile banking journeys and mobile banking applications. Your personal loan journeys, credit card journeys is something that we have done. And we've also checked across the FD journeys that you can benchmark against the Pulse framework. So these are all the products that we have tested this framework across, and we definitely see that utilizing this framework would help you benchmark several other. I mean, beat any other product digitally that you would like to benchmark against. So deep diving into this framework, what does this Pulse framework stand for? So when it stands for parameter evaluation. So I mean, P stands for parameter evaluation, where we identify all the specific master set of parameters that you would like to involve for your product that you're choosing. So I mean, and we'll discuss on the detailed set of parameters in the next slide. But I mean, it could be as simple as your customer onboarding that you would like to check against. And for onboarding, how many of your inputs that you're considering? Can you automate this particular journey? Are you trying to consider an OTP journey, or an authenticator journey that is coming in? Are you sending this OTP through your mobile phone number only, or are you also trying to send it to both mobile phone number as well as your email ID? So it could be when we consider onboarding, it could be these set of specific or even more based on your particular application that we would consider. And in terms of your user centric analysis, we understand how is your I mean, first-hand experience of your particular product as compared to your competitors. I mean, this could be the ease of navigating through your UI, or the experiences of the finesse with which you're trying to have your features available for your customers. How informed are you keeping your customers to identify the next steps of your, but in terms of their journey? are also going to be the key. And based on this, we will help identify different parameters again to ensure. It could be simply your messaging that you're trying to put across. How well from each and every screen are you navigating that particular message, and are you ensuring that it is having the consistency across the screens? So it could be as simple as those things, but having them consistently available across the journey of the customer is going to be very important. And mapping the product to your, product to your product life cycle, and in terms of your strategic journey that you've mapped across the industry standards and your competitors is something that we will help you. And in terms, we will help you identify the gaps and help you identify the focused improvement areas where the digital product can be, it could be a specific feature like improving the onboarding journey, or maybe let's say it could be as simple as trying to reduce the number of input fields that you're trying to collect from your customer, or moving towards a focused onboarding in less than one screen, where you try and pull several steps in the backend, are also something that we can help you streamline in terms of the life cycle mapping. And there could also be your strategic alignment with your business goals and objectives that you've built for your particular organization. Let's say it could, where your digital product, in terms of the features that you're trying to build, is it in alignment with your strategic goals? So it could be as simple as you're trying to enhance your personal loan journey, but you're, let's say, in your as an organization, you have taken a strategic decision to discard personal loan product from the next financial year. Or so me as a product manager focusing on your improving the journey for your digital product for your personal loan is not going to be helpful, right? So it could not be as blatant as this when we speak of. It could be several other alignments that we can strategically help. In terms, let's say you're trying to launch the credit card onboarding next year, how do you align specific set of features as from today to help you get to that particular journey of launching the credit cards in next 1 odd month or 2 odd months, and ensure you meet the goal that you've set up for the strategic goal that you've set up for this particular financial year. And also experience optimization. This could be including how do you optimize your design, how do you actually change your headband banners, or how do you actually ensure you improve the experience of the particular customer, and messaging across the screens are going to be the key. So that is where we help you optimize your experience in terms. We help you identify the optimization parts of the experience. And speaking of the several sub parameters that we spoke earlier, so when we most of it's something that we spoke about, but specifically in terms of the life cycle mapping, we would be able to also focus on your service times, or how do you optimize your operations in the backend, how do you improve the specific other features, that ancillary features that can support your core product, is something that we can also map it across. And in terms of the strategic alignment, we would also be helping you against trying to identify specific set of APIs that you can integrate, or if you would like to benchmark your API specifically, trying to understand how do you improve your further features. So speaking of how is this going to be helpful, we worked very closely with one of the banks who were trying to foray into the MSME lending space, and they wanted to understand how well the current set of retail APIs that they have built can be utilized for the MSME onboarding. So, in terms of that particular strategic alignment, we went across trying to understand how can the MSME lending be streamlined through the retail lending journeys that have already been built, what set of APIs are already there, and how can they be utilized. And with specific requirements coming from the MSME space, how do you customize a particular set of APIs, or which APIs specifically are the ones that you have to build as of the next 1 odd month of focus to ensure you launch the MSME lending in future. And from there on, we've helped them build the MSME screens for the lending journey of a particular customer. And we've also helped them strategically create a credit policy for MSME lending, right? So though it could, on the strategic alignment, these are all something that can be benchmarked against across the competitors to understand where is the space, how can you operate, and at the end of the day, what competitive edge can you build on in terms of the market competition that is already available to ensure a higher adoption and better experience to the customers, is something that is going to be the key. And I mean, most of the people are often confused when we speak of a digital product. So or a service benchmarking that is perceived. So they only see it as one particular set where you focus on, I mean, perceiving what design or attributes are to be changed, or how do you exactly focus on improving or adapting these benchmarking framework to the improvements of your particular organization. So in terms, when we see the benchmarking activity can be utilized across both digital products and digital services that are there. And from that, each of the, I mean, whenever we are trying to initiate a benchmarking activity, as we've discussed earlier, it is, I mean, it is very important to identify what is that goal that you're trying to achieve through this particular benchmarking activity. How are you going to perceive or build the precision on top of the metrics that you're trying to utilize for this particular benchmarking activity? And through that, how can you actually tailor these insights that you are trying to build, and bring the insights back into your improvement of your product and service? So I mean, in terms, when we speak of a digital product benchmarking, it is required to have a both inward and outward approach, where we are trying to not only compare the product attributes, design, and the technical capabilities, but also focus on what the market competition is trying to do in the same space. Then how do you actually further streamline the services in the backend are going to be the key. So in terms of the services benchmarking, we focus on how do you optimize the delivery, how do you improve the TAT of your delivery, how is the process going to be further efficiently utilized, and if at all you are currently at a 95% efficiency, how do you build the 99.99% efficiency as a key, or maybe achieve the Six Sigma goals that you are trying to set for your organization, or improve the customer satisfaction aspects that could be, I mean, simpler onboarding, direct disbursements, or I mean, it could be as simple as having a biometric onboarding onto your mobile banking journey. So each and every particular attribute and feature can be benchmarked against and try and understand how we can actually improve them further. So this is how our benchmarking report looks like in general when we speak of the product benchmarking. This is something that we tried doing it for one of the premier banks, where they were trying to benchmark it against a particular personal loan journey. This is the summary screen that we've built for them, wherein they at a particular screen, so they would be able to compare, I mean, 4 to 5 different organizations in one place, trying to understand what the specific score has been built, which was benchmarked across 120 odd parameters. And from each of these particular screen, we've also helped them identify what are the highlights of each and every journey that we've undertaken, and how can the bank utilize these particular features to further improve their particular journey, or how do they improve their particular lending product, is something that we've advised against. And this is something that we've done for another bank, where we tried benchmarking their overall mobile banking, I mean, mobile banking application, where we tried mapping it across 8 different competitors at that particular point of time, which was the preference of the bank, and tried to understand with respect to the score, what are the highlights of that particular journey. And in the other screens, we actually help them identify each and every set of features that they should be focusing upon for the next immediate, where the bank needs to put in an immediate focus upon, and how can they further enhance their particular feature set or screens, is something that we've helped them build against. And before we move to the next segment on evaluating customer experiences through the benchmarking, I request Sakshi to share the feedback form once again, and maybe I'll take a pause and see if at all anyone has a question that I would be able to help against. Yeah. seems there are no questions, so I would take this opportunity to continue to the next set of to the last segment of our webinar, which is on the evaluating of the customer experiences. So, as of now, we've discussed how digital products can be benchmarked, how can the product benchmarking move as a strategic tool, and how it can be utilized to understand the competition, and how it can further help the organizations have this particular data-driven decisions have be in place, right? So further, how can you utilize the digital product benchmarking to improve the customer experiences, are something that we would like to take in this particular part of the webinar, where we are saying, based on the data that we are collecting, we would be able to understand the data-driven enhancement. So, in terms of the data-driven enhancement, we see, we would be able to benchmark against how is my customer funnel faring across. Is my onboarding journey timed at a timed at a real time onboarding? When I say 30 seconds, when I put in the timer for a 30 seconds OTP entry, am I able to really fare it against and show this particular OTP to the customer? And based on these things, I can further go back and improve my backend systems to actually send that particular OTP next 10 odd seconds, or maybe improve the timer on the screen, right? So other than for that, what other data-driven decisions that we'll be able to see is how, let's say I'm taking 10 odd inputs to actually start onboarding a particular customer on for a personal lending journey. And how can I further streamline the basic details to be streamlined against is trying to map the phone number to fetch the PAN number and utilize the combination of these with an Aadhaar fetch, where I'm trying to do the basic validation of the customer before I onboard the journey, right? With a consent utilization, wherein I would be able to streamline the journey and also fetch the real-time location of the person, also capture the address details in the backend from the Aadhaar, and also validate it on the real time, trying to understand if the customer is trying to give me proper data or not, and then further improve or personalize the next screens to further provide personalized experience to the customer. So that's how we would be able to take data-driven enhancements that can be utilized, and simplification of user journey. Let's say we are looking at 10 different screens before the whole personal loan is disbursed to a particular customer. How, as just we've discussed, how can we streamline the steps in the backend to bring it down back to 4 or 5 steps, or maybe bring down the timeline where, from the start to the disbursement is taking half an hour. How would I be able to bring it down to 2 or 3 odd minutes, where it is easier for the customer to not only take the journey, but with the minimalist of the inputs that are available, the further simplification of the user journey can be possible. And the features that have been identified through the benchmarking, they need to be prioritized based on the impact that they can add to the business and the organization, right? So through, for post benchmarking, each and every organization needs to look at what are the features that they would like to prioritize first, and based on the availability of the tech teams and the other ancillary teams who are going to support the evolution of this particular product, or help improve or help adopt to the benchmarking features, or the services that have been chosen against, we would be able to prioritize what set of features that we would like to pick up for the next sprint in the next month, or maybe how would we able to be prioritize it as a strategic move in the organization for maybe in 3 odd months or 6 odd months, will be the plan that we would be able to build. And in terms of the user-centric modifications, so we know, in terms of the decisions, it could be as simple as, we know that the customer is trying to come in or log in from Mumbai, let's say. And today, if let's say there is a festival, maybe Gudi Padwa is approaching, so I would like to take that as an example. I've just logged in, and imagine there is a message coming in, Happy Gudi Padwa, I hope you've celebrated, and then just moving on to the next screen. It helps build the user centricity and help build that localized experience coming into that particular screen. And from there on, if at all you are trying to help the customer again move on with a simplified experience and with less number of inputs, it could further enhance the particular experience and also provide that customer loyalty or customer satisfaction being generated. And with that, we also need to ensure how dynamically we would be able to control the features in the backend, or how dynamically we would be able to control the messaging that we are trying to put on the screens, right? So there's no point if at all we've developed a particular feature and even just the basic messaging change on that particular feature would have to go through a complete 15-day sprint to be deployed. So, those kind of changes in terms of your digital product need to be streamlined in such a way that every hour, in case you want to change a particular message on the screen, you should be able to. And based on the customer persona that you're trying to identify, let's say there is a senior citizen who is trying to come into this, utilize this particular journey. And just based on the login, you would like to put in a grand message, or maybe just enhance the text size on your particular screen, which could further help. Which could further help your particular customer. It could be simpler features, as simple as that, which can help you build the dynamicness coming through and the changes that could be going through. So as an organization, to improve your digital business, we should be having the agile implementation at place, where we would also see the changes in terms of the messaging, or changes in terms of the features, or changes in terms of your user persona based changes that could be happening on the screen, that have to happen dynamically. Moving to analyzing the customer feedback, it could be at the launch. It could be as simple as communicating what are the features that you're trying to launch in the next set of sprint. Just providing them coach marks, how do you utilize that particular feature, where do you navigate across. And let's say there is a simple feature on the screen where you are saying, Acha, you've launched some XYZ service. Can you bring me coach marks to it? And I would like to explore that particular service, readily available on the screen. It's a small, it could be as simple as a small push button available, where as soon as I click on it, no matter how many ever time previously you've shown the coach marks, unless or until the customer has the intent to try that feature, they wouldn't be able to explore it, right? So these kind of small set of features, where as and when the customer wants, they would be able to understand or have a tutorial of it, is going to be further helpful, rather than the customer going searching for a particular tutorial or unable to find it, or just exploring where that particular option is, and not having enough information to explore that particular feature, right? And also, through the benchmarking and analyzing customer feedback across the competition, you would also be able to improve your pricing strategy. Let's say your customers are saying, for the set of features that you're providing, you're too pricey, or maybe there are a lot of customers who are coming into the funnel and dropping off exactly at the payment screen. So that actually means a lot, right? So always the feedback is not which is physically written and provided to us as a business in the digital arena. So we should be able to analyze the situation of each and every particular customer on each and every screen, and based on that, we should be able to analyze the behavior in the backend to help us further take the decisions. And we would also, we can also optimize the launch timing and the channels that can be utilized. So let's say me as a customer is more active on Instagram as compared to Facebook. So all WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram coming as a part of the Facebook community only, rather than pushing the ad evenly across all the places. For this particular customer, we should only be able to concentrate on Instagram rather than focusing. So this is considering the user preferences, and also understanding the launch timing of a particular notification or any other, including your product launches that are happening or product changes that are happening. So those kind of launches, whatever we are trying to do, communicating it with the customer, and also having it exactly in the place where the customer is trying to look at it, or where the customer is, when the customer is trying to utilize the particular phone or laptop actively, only when we provide the communication in those timings, they would be able to perceive that particular, message that we are trying to give them, right? So that particular nudge that what we are trying to provide to the customer all has to be at the focused on at the active time of utilizing that particular service. And moving towards the continuous feedback integration, where as an organization, we look at how the customer is reacting towards each and every feature. How are they trying to utilize a particular feature or a screen is something is going to be the key. Let's say we've built a particular feature and we have around 20 lakh customers, but only 1,000 of them utilize this particular feature. So is there something wrong with that particular feature? Is it discoverable? Are there further improvements that are expected? Or something as an analysis that we can do, or maybe look at what is the feedback that is being given by the customers? Is it too difficult to be utilized, or whatever we are trying to show, let's say it is as simple as a graph, but it is not understandable to the most of the customers. That's the reason they're not trying to continuously explore for looking at it. So how do you simplify those particular graphs, or how do you further simplify that particular product feature, which can be utilized across and have a higher adoption, is going to be the key, right? So bringing or analyzing the customer feedback and building it back into the improvement of our product or service are going to be the key. Further moving to, what we have done is we've built a quick fire checklist of 10 points that you can check if at all you are trying to improve the customer adoption of your digital creation, which could be launching. Before you completely launch, check if you have a multi-channel marketing campaign already running, or if you can initiate it. It could be as simple as launching it through evenly through LinkedIn, Facebook community, WhatsApp, and everywhere where the customer can actively look at it, and having crafting effective messages and having a brand positioning available. So we trying to relaunch a particular product or service without actually effectively communicating that particular product or feature is something is equal to putting a feature into a dead product, right? So where the customer does not know what changed, you've just simply refreshed the UI or change something. As soon as the customer tries to log in or customer tries to perceive your particular product, they could be completely surprised. So having that message being sent to that particular customer on what changed, or how you are trying to position your particular organization or product is going to be the key. And implementing engaging content for marketing. It could be, as we were discussing, is it actionable or is it informative? And are you trying to provide that informative message evenly across all the to all the customers? Will you be able to personalize it to a particular persona that is maybe based on the age group, based on the gender, in case you want to change, or based on the timeline that they are trying to log into, or the active time that they are utilizing their particular feature? You would like to, alter that engaging content coming in that you can further market across is going to be the key. And how you actually revitalize your website to reflect on all the features of your particular product, or what you're trying to do with your particular product, be it your organization website. Everywhere it has to have the synergy between the changes that you're trying to communicate on your product on your website. And also enhancing social media dynamics, where you not only post a particular ad or improve or try to find a social media influencer to help support your particular campaign, but also see on how it is being perceived post that. So there are 10,000 people who are looking at it every minute, but not one is exploring. So is there a problem with the content that is being built, or is there are we is the content that is posted across is unable to effectively communicate on what your product is? So how do you bring those things back into your messaging? How do you actually improve those kind of features to improve your social media positioning are going to be the key. And from there on, personalized marketing efforts. Not always it is going to be your cold calling or your messages that you send across, right? Based on let's say I'm a new investor and I'm only looking to invest as of today, and I'm looking for a curated portfolio. So when I search for it and I come across a particular set of feature, and it says we would be able to give you robo advisory, is something that I'd be looking for, or maybe that is something that I'm searching for. So how do you ensure whenever the searchability in terms of the marketing efforts is there, and based on the persona of the person who is trying to perceive or search for your product or feature, you would be able to show your message that can be perceived as going to be the key. And also, I mean, there are a lot of people who actively communicate and provide feedback. So how do you actually manage your reputation across all the reviews? How do you improve the further messaging is going to be the key. And I mean, based on the feedback that you're receiving and your reputation that you're trying to provide, how do you also build a customer support team in the back end to support dynamic queries coming in from the customer, dynamic feature support that you're trying to provide, or maybe provide resolution on the run is going to be the key. And with the data-driven decisions, it is not going to be a one-time effort. Daily tracking of your data reports, how what is the analysis on daily basis that is happening. If your particular message that you're changing on day one is going to work, I mean, is it really working, or do you see an increase in the customers who are trying to adopt your particular product or feature? Do you need, when you change your particular messaging, what is the reaction of the particular customers? Do you see an enhanced adoption coming in from yesterday to today with the change that you're trying to do with your message, or based on the changes that are happening? So all these are something that you have to do day in and day out. And I mean, based on this, you also would be able to understand if you need strategic collaborations, be it just on the GTM for your enhanced product, be it on your messaging that you're trying to do, be it on your positioning that you would like to do across, or maybe write on what your particular digital product is going to support or trying to launch against are going to be the key. With that, we come to the end of our session today, guys. We hope it was informative for you, and we also hope almost every one of you have provided your feedback. And in case you haven't, we request you to kindly share your feedback. The link is there in the chat box. And thank you all for joining. And in case any of you have queries, you can please reach out to us. We'd be really happy to help you. Thank you, guys.